7 square meters. Just enough space to sleep, but not to live. In Tokyo's micro apartments, that single room is a sleeping module, built to store a person overnight rather than to house a life. The real apartment is the city. Cafes open around the clock, and fast food booths with quiet corners become living rooms. Parks, river walks, and station plazas are decompression zones. Public baths, sento, and onsen replace home bathrooms, and co-working spaces, libraries, and desk cafes become offices. You pay for this by the hour. Coffee seats, bath entry fees, co-working passes, capsule hotel nights, and laundromat runs add up. Why are thousands of people willingly outsourcing daily life to the city? And what happens when privacy, comfort, and community are up for rent? A single room, 7 square meters. The morning begins with a quiet ritual. Resident A folds away the futon, tucks the bedding into a corner, and slides open the wall-mounted rail to choose today's clothes. Every object has its assigned place. Every movement is measured. There is just enough floor space to sit cross-legged, or to pull out a single chair. The desk doubles as a nightstand, then as a breakfast table, then as a shelf for bags and keys. The walls are within arm's reach, making it impossible to stretch out or to pace. In this space, a bed is not a permanent fixture. It vanishes with the sunrise. There is no room for a sofa, no space for a guest. The air grows heavy after a few hours, urging a quick exit. Shoes line up by the door, ready for the first step outside. For Resident A, home is a place to sleep and to store the essentials. Life, work, relaxation, even conversation wait beyond the threshold. The folding ritual is not just habit, but necessity. Each morning the apartment is reset, emptied of comfort, and prepared for another day spent elsewhere. Tokyo's afternoons unfold in a network of borrowed living rooms. The city's public nodes, 24-hour cafes, fast food booths, and station plazas fill with residents seeking space to rest, meet friends, or simply exist outside their walls. For Resident B, a 29-year-old translator in a 12-square-meter unit near Ikebukuro, the rhythm is predictable. After work, she claims a booth at a manga cafe, trading the silence of her apartment for the gentle hum of keyboards and the clink of coffee cups. A few hundred yen secures her a seat for an hour or two, a small price for comfort and company. Social life follows unwritten rules. In a room barely wide enough for a single chair, inviting friends home feels awkward, even impossible. Instead, friendships are built in neutral territory, a favorite plaza by the station, a quiet corner of the Riverwalk, or a late-night cafe that never closes. These places become extensions of the home, each offering a patch of privacy in the open. Station plazas serve as default meeting points, no reservation needed, no need to tidy up. The city's always open seating culture means there is always somewhere to go, even when the apartment cannot contain another moment. Here, the boundaries of private and public blur, and the city itself becomes the shared lounge for thousands of residents whose homes are too small for guests. Resident B slips off her shoes at the Sento entrance, placing them in a small wooden locker. The evening air outside is cool, but inside the tiled entryway, a quiet warmth settles over her shoulders. She trades her street clothes for a simple robe, folding each layer with care and tucking her belongings into a narrow cubby. The ritual begins long before water touches skin. At the washing station, she kneels on a small stool, scrubbing arms, legs, and hair with slow, practiced motions. Soap bubbles drift into the drain, carrying away the day's exhaustion. Only after a careful rinse does she step into the steaming bath. Here, conversation fades to whispers or disappears altogether. The only sounds are the gentle splash of water and the low hum of the boiler. In this space, the air is thick with heat and silence. Muscles loosen, breath deepens, and the sharpness of city life dissolves. For resident B, the Cento is more than a place to get clean. It is the one room in her daily orbit that offers enough space to stretch, enough warmth to linger, and enough quiet to reset. The routine, shoe removal, wash, soak, becomes a kind of anchor, restoring what the apartment cannot provide. When she leaves, hair still damp, the city feels less heavy on her shoulders. Resident A leaves the apartment with a laptop and a bag packed for the day. The first stop is a desk cafe, one of hundreds scattered across Tokyo's business districts. Inside, rows of partitioned tables hum with quiet activity. Students, freelancers, remote workers, all renting concentration by the hour. A membership card unlocks a seat, free Wi-Fi, and a bottomless mug of coffee. For many, this is the real office. The apartment's walls are too close, the air too dense for long stretches of focus. Here, the mind finds space to work, but the body remains on display. Every cough, every stretch, every phone call measured against the presence of strangers. By late afternoon, fatigue sets in. The constant awareness, the need to perform in public, wears down even the most disciplined. Some switch locations, hopping between cafes and co-working spaces, chasing fresh air and a change of scenery. Each move costs a few hundred yen, each hour another line in the mental ledger. The city offers endless desks, but never true solitude. As midnight approaches, the exhaustion becomes physical. For resident A, the apartment's thin walls and summer humidity make sleep elusive. Tonight, the solution is a capsule hotel, a row of pods stacked like drawers, each just wide enough for a single person to stretch out. The price is about 4,000 yen, and it buys not just a bed, but silence, air conditioning, and the promise of uninterrupted rest. The sliding door closes, shutting out the city's noise. For a few hours, the pod becomes a private world. This is not luxury. It is relief, rented by the night. The ledger grows, cafe hours, co-working passes, capsule fees. Each line a reminder that in Tokyo's smallest homes, comfort and quiet are not entitlements, but commodities, purchased as needed, paid for in increments of time. A notebook lies open on resident A's desk, each page marked with careful columns and tiny sums. The rent, 65,000 yen for 9 square meters, sits at the top, a number that once promised freedom in the city. Below, the daily arithmetic begins. 2 hours at a cafe, 400 yen an hour. 12 visits to the Cento this month, 600 yen each. 10 days of co-working, 2,000 yen per pass. 5 capsule nights, 4,000 yen each. Even the laundromat, 500 yen a wash, claims its share. The totals creep upward, line by line, until the monthly extras reach 75,200 yen, more than the rent itself. Receipts pile up in wallets and pockets, small slips that map the real boundaries of life outside the apartment. The city's promise of cheap living dissolves into a steady leak of coins and bills. Each comfort, quiet, warmth, privacy, is rationed by the hour, and the city bills for every patch of borrowed space. Midway through the ledger, an expert's voice interrupts. Micro-units only function because the city extends them. Affordability calculations ignore the true cost of outsourcing daily life. The city becomes a pay-per-use apartment, with residents subsidizing public infrastructure through their routines. For resident B, the math is more than numbers. She slips on headphones in a crowded cafe, a private ritual that signals the need for distance. The constant movement, packing up, paying, searching for the next seat, becomes its own form of exhaustion. Each day is measured not just in yen, but in the effort required to maintain a semblance of home in public. The invisible budget is more than a financial tally. It reveals a kind of boundary fatigue, a quiet strain that builds as every comfort is outsourced, every moment accounted for. The city offers endless options, but each comes with a price, written in ink, felt in muscle and mind. In Tokyo, a tiny room is only a sleeping module. The real apartment is the city itself. Each year, Tokyo builds more micro-units, yet the city's shared spaces quietly shoulder the true weight of urban life. As rent remains low but daily costs rise, the line between private and public blurs. In the world's densest cities, the definition of home is no longer fixed. Share your thoughts below.